Komata. And if you people don't adjust by this December and start listening to the people of the Mount Kenya region make decisions the second year of election. And I was telling them from my experience, by the end of this year in December, if you guys have not aligned yourself with the people and listened to the people are crying about overtaxation. The people are saying they don't want the affordable housing. The people are saying they don't want you to tax avocado. The people are saying that there's too much government into people's lives. And you people are following William Ruto blindly. I'm advising you people as your leader. From what Wananchi are telling me, if you don't adjust and listen to the people, you will find yourself in trouble come 2027.
But it just wasn't MPs. According to the president, his PA Farouk Kibet received...
I'll explain. I'll explain. Let me first deal with the 10 billion. President William Ruto is a master of deceit. And he's very good at driving narratives to suit what he wants. Between the year 2018 and 2022, he drove a narrative in the Mount Kenya region that Uhuru Kenyatta is incompetent, he's a drunkard, and he has ruined the economy and the country.
But it's collective responsibility. You were right next to him.
I'm just saying, among the people he persuaded. He persuaded many people, I included, because he's very persuasive when he gets on a narrative. And he drove a narrative against Uhuru Kenyatta and recruited all of us, I included. I was among the leader of those who believed in what he told us, that Uhuru Kenyatta is a drunkard, is a useless leader, is a man who has messed this country, is a man who cannot be trusted to organize a succession. And we should despise him, we should hate him. And we listened to William Ruto and he persuaded us. 5 years down the line, Uhuru Kenyatta is gone. William Ruto, the one who said Uhuru is incompetent, has come on stage. The president has never talked about it until he came to the mountain. And the president had better make up his mind why he ordered me out of office. When he went to Western Kenya, he said he got rid of me because I was incompetent and tribal. He never told the people of Western Kenya asking for 10 billion. When he went to Northeastern Kenya, he said he got rid of me because I'm divisive and I don't like the unity of the country. When he went to Nyanza, he said that I am primitive, and corrupt. When he came to the mountain, he never said I'm tribal because he cannot say that. He never said I'm incompetent because he cannot do that.
Okay.
He said that I was asking for 10 billion. In fact, on Thursday morning, he met Madeira women dancers. There is a group of 1,000 women that I put together to dance for Uhuru Kenyatta. And then I handed them out to William Ruto. Most of them are friends of my late mother. Others are women who have educated their children from Form 1 up to university. My friends. He met them and told them, huyu Rigathi wenu alikuwa anaitisha mimi bilioni 10. Na nikaona kuliko kule peke yake, nimfukuse hii pesa nigawe na nyinyi nyote. So leo mtakula hii pesa ningepatia Rigathi. Those women, he gave them each 8,000 shillings. That is 8 million shillings. And he gave another 2 million shillings towards the funeral of their cheerleader who has died. And the women called me and said, this man is a liar. Because we know you. During the 2022 elections, Roger, William Ruto picked me as running mate because of my mobilization skills and my capacity to mobilize resources. Everybody knows I'm not a poor man. I was in a lot of trouble with the fourth administration because of funding William Ruto. The fourth administration froze my accounts so that I stopped funding William Ruto. The fourth administration blocked all my businesses so that I stopped giving money to William Ruto. I put serious money into his campaign. I am not the kind of man to go asking William Ruto to give me any money. In any case, let me ask you a question. William Ruto should make up his mind how much money I'm supposed to have asked. His chief propagandist, that is Itumbe, wrote, and it's there, I have a copy, I will give it to you.
I remember, yes.
That I'm asking for 6.5 billion. Okay?
Sure.
His Mr. Fix-It, Kimani Ichung'wa, went to Europe in an interview and said, I'm asking for 8 billion. William Ruto says, I'm asking for 10 billion. Between his Mr. Fix-It and his chief propagandist and William Ruto, can't they sit down and agree the figure that Rigathi Gachagua is supposed to have asked for? So I want to explain to you that there is nothing like that. It was just a narrative he wanted to bring to the mountain because he needed to explain to them, because he committed himself that he would never humiliate his deputy. He went beyond "got rid of me." He needed something to tell the people of the mountain. But of course, everybody knows it's a lie, because if that was true, it should have come in the impeachment. Again, let me tell you, Rogers.
But I have to ask you, because you're equally on record in public mentioning that President William Ruto offered you 2 billion Kenya shillings to resign ahead of the impeachment in October.
Yes.
So isn't that a counter narrative?
No. I talked before he talked the other day. Okay. I have not talked after he has talked.
So your claims are true?
I said he talked to me. He sent a very senior officer in government. Well, he called me myself when we disagreed and said, I cannot work with you. I would like you to resign. And if you don't, I'll impeach you. And later on in the interview, I'll tell you why we disagreed. And he said, instead of you going home empty-handed, and since you assisted me, I would like you to go with your retirement package, and I can get you some money to get you started off, like 1.5, 2 billion. I told him to go to hell. I'm not interested. I'm priceless. And that kind of money, I have. You know how much I funded your campaign. I am not a man to be given 2 billion shillings. You know what the kind of money I am into. And therefore, I said, fine. He sent a very senior officer to come and see me. On Thursday, when the National Assembly resolved that I should be impeached by going to the Senate, that Friday morning, he sent a very senior officer to come and see me. And he gave me his terms. And again, it's my ethics, because I don't record people. I recorded that conversation, giving me that offer from the president. I have that record. Okay?
So the senior official was speaking for the president?
Yeah, he sent me the following day.
But the burden of proof lies with the accuser. We need to see this.
No problem. Okay. No problem. The following day, he told the officer I should go and have a discussion with him. And I refused to go to State House. He suggested I go to his hotel, the Western Hotel. I refused. And we met somewhere along State House Road in one of the safe houses run by the National Intelligence Service. And between me, that officer, and myself, we had a discussion with the president. Again, I recorded that conversation for posterity, because I know William Ruto. I put it on record. Again, he gave me that offer. I told him I'll think about it. I didn't want to have a fight with him because it was not necessary. That officer persuaded me that I should listen to the president. And because he's a man from home, he said, it doesn't matter, whatever it is, just listen to what he has to say.
Who is this officer?
No, I don't want to.
For the sake of our public, you call for an interview, you have to.
Let me explain. Let me explain. So I said, no, I declined. The day I went to the Senate, the first day, that officer again was dispatched by the president. And I refused to see him, but after consultation with my counsels, I agreed to see him. Again, he brought me another offer. I recorded. I am very conflicted. That officer is an innocent man. He's an emissary of the president. He is in service. If I expose him now, he will lose his job. He will be in very difficult circumstances. So on discussion with my family and lawyers, we have agreed that when he retires, and it's not very long from now, we'll be able to release that information. And I've done that because I know his family, and I don't want to jeopardize his position. And because he did not come on his free will, he serves the president and he cannot be able to argue with him. I'll have that information. It is ready, it's well stored. And I would like to tell these people not to try to come and read here to get it. It's not here. I've stored it nicely with somewhere, and it's in good position.
Allow me to reel you in, because you're a truthful man, as you say. At the end of the day, if you're giving us allegations, you have to substantiate.
I don't understand. I have told you, because when the president went to that interview, he was asked to substantiate. He refused to substantiate. I have done a lot of substantiation. I've explained to you why I don't want to receive the information now. But I will release the information because it's for public information, so that between me and the president, the people can know who is right and who is not right, and who is lying to the people of Kenya.
You know what your critics are saying?
Yeah.
Since you heavily funded the presidential campaigns in the Mount Kenya region, that you're asking of this 10 billion, or is it 6.5 billion, whichever the figure, was simply a way of returning your investment. You well know how politics in Kenya
I don't think so, because when I was funding the president, there was no issue. If I needed my money back from him or whatever it is, we'll discuss. I have not asked the president to refund me any money. I'm a leader. That was an investment in the presidential campaign. He was president. I was running it. I too had a responsibility, to spend money on the campaign. And that's why I'm saying I'm not the kind of person to ask him for money. And he knows that, because I'm an astute businessman who have worked for many years and made my own money. And I was in the campaign on my own violation. The president did not force me to be the campaign. I spend my money because I thought it's the right thing to do. I mobilized resources from friends, and I did not ask him. And if I had asked him, he should have said then. He cannot say now, 6 months after. He would have called a meeting of UDA, the PG, put me to task and say, Rigiji here is asking me for this. He would have called some elders, some church people. He never did any of those things, because that is how you do those things.
Okay.
But myself, when he offered me an offer to resign, I talked about it. I did not waste time. I talked about it because that is the situation.
But it's still a narrative. We'd like to substantiate this claim, sir.
I have told you what I need to tell you. And the long and short of it all is that the president wanted to create a narrative with the mountain. And you see, these mountain people are looking at him very closely, because the things he said about me are not the things he is saying today. Okay? When he said I should be his running mate in Karen on May 15th, he had this to say. There were so many other instruments. I looked at many things. I looked at what was required of a deputy president. In the end, we all settled as a team on Gachagua, because he's an astute debater, a fantastic grassroots mobilizer, a disciplined and tireless political operative, a successful elected politician and businessman, a principled politician of tremendous resilience and fearless fighter for the right cause, an indefatigable champion. Gachagua is a self-made man, a politician of repute, and a public servant whose sole goal is to help others. Gachagua is a very passionate leader, a people's person. He speaks about the ordinary people and is concerned about matters to do with farmers. What I like about him is his passion for people issues. He's one of those leaders who are passionate about ordinary people. He's a living example of a true hustler. Then the president is here telling the people of the mountain, the man you gave me is a blackmailer. He goes to Western, he says, man is a tribalist. He goes to Nyanza, he says, this man is a primitive. Give me a break. You are talking to the same people. These same people are the ones he talked to when he wanted my services, when he wanted me to mobilize the mountain people, when he wanted to take advantage of my oratory skills to mobilize votes for him, when he wanted me to articulate people-based issues. Yet, when I say don't demolish houses for innocent people, he says I'm fighting his government. Yet, he was saying I stand for people issues. So I am saying that the mountain people, you can con them once. You can't con them twice. What they are saying, William Ruto, you successfully persuaded us to fight our own son, Uhuru Kenyatta. Please, you cannot persuade us to fight Rigathi Gachagua because we now know you. You came and told us that Uhuru Kenyatta is bad because he is working with Raila Odinga. And Raila Odinga is a very mad man and a very dangerous man, the Lord of poverty. Today, this is for him everywhere. Then the mountain people are looking at him and saying, is this the same man who made us hate Uhuru Kenyatta because he was working with Raila Odinga? Today, he is singing praises for Raila Odinga, taking him all over Africa to be the king of Africa.
Right.
And he wants us now to believe him that Rigathi Gachagua wanted 10 billion from him. Is this not the same man who came here and told us that Uhuru Kenyatta is a drunkard? Is he not the same man? Now he is here again telling us that our son, Rigathi Gachagua, is incompetent. Our son, Justin Muturi, is incompetent. Our son, Moses Kuria, is corrupt. Our son, Metheka Linturi, is corrupt. Mr. President, I have no capacity to advise you. Nobody can fool the mountain people twice. You fooled them once, they feel very sorry about it. They actually feel very low and very down. I want to assure you, your tricks are now known. Your games are known. You will never again in your lifetime make the people of the mountain fight their son or their daughter. They will never do it. You made us hate Uhuru Kenyatta.
Okay.
You made us humiliate him. You told us bad things about him that were not true. You said he was incompetent. You are the one who is incompetent now. It is very clear for everybody. Everybody is incompetent except you. Even now you are saying your new Mr. Yesa is very competent. You are the only one who is competent. Everybody else who disagrees with you, everybody else who has a problem with your modus operandi, anybody else who has a problem with your leadership is incompetent.
Okay.
You are the only competent person in this country.
So, and with all due respect, we'll treat what you've said earlier on as allegations because you still haven't substantiated them. I have to ask you this because it's a multi-pronged question. When exactly did your friendship, your working relationship with President William Ruto start, and when did the rain start beating it?
Probably before we come to that, you said that he said I fight small people. I don't fight anybody. He says that I was fighting Farouk Kibet. Farouk Kibet is not a small man. He is a co-president in this country. Farouk Kibet runs the government. Everybody reports to him. The Inspector General of Police, the head of public service. Cabinet ministers. William Ruto issues instructions to cabinet ministers tremble at his very sight. So Farouk Kibet wanted to give instructions to Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua was elected by the people of Kenya alongside William Ruto. There is no way I would have allowed Farouk Kibet to give instructions to me. And let me tell you, Rogers, Farouk Kibet was trying to run my office, make appointments for people to come and see me. And initially, I thought it's okay, maybe that's how William Ruto wants us to work, until I learned that Farouk Kibet was collecting money from people to come and see me, and I have nothing to give them in return. And I went and I told the president, Mr. President, I'm your principal assistant. Please, your personal assistant cannot give me instructions. And if you want to give me any instructions, you give them yourself and I obey them to the letter. But you cannot use your PA to order me around. And your PA is taking advantage to make money from people. And I told you, Mr. President, for your information, because I'm your advisor in this matter, I will be failing in my duty if I don't advise you and tell you what is happening.
Okay.
All the people Farouk Kibet is clearing to come and see you, he's collecting money. And there's hue and cry in town. And State House is getting very disrespected because it has become a center of corruption. All appointments of people coming to see you, Kibet is collecting money. And Mr. President, I think you need to check this. But if you want to continue with it, tell him to keep off my office. He is not going to make appointments in my office, and he cannot tell me whom to see.
So can you substantiate this? Faruk Kibet is not here to defend himself.
But the president raised a matter. You asking me for an answer?
Yes, yes.
See, I must give you an answer.
But
I'm not the one. I've never raised that issue.
Okay.
It's the president who raised the matter. I'm answering.
I'm just
to the people of
countering
Kenya.
what you've said.
But I'm
you've
saying,
said that he's the one.
But I'm saying, Rogers, the president said that I'm fighting with small people. The answer is that Faruk Kibet is not a small person.
So you're fighting big people. Fine.
I was not fighting big people.
Yes.
I was telling the president, I'm elected. I'm not going to take instructions from your personal assistant. And I'm not going to allow him to push corruption in my office. If you want him to practice corruption in your office, you can go ahead.
But you just said he was collecting money for people to meet with you.
I learned the few people he had asked me to see. Later on, I heard noise in town that people are going to see the deputy president. Faruk has collected money on his behalf and he's not doing anything for us. That is when I got alarmed. I faced Kibet and he told me off. He said, I must make money. Hii serikali tumetafuta, mimi nimeumia na William Ruto miaka mingi. And actually when I talked to the president about Faruk Kibet, he said, wewe achana na Faruk atafute pesa kidogo ya kukula bana. Hii mtu ameumia na mimi miaka mingi, akipata hapa kidogo kidogo yuko makosa gani? So I'm the only man who would tell him off.
Okay.
When he says that I'm fighting small people, I don't know Itumbi. You can see the things he was writing about me. And Dennis Itumbi, the chief propagandist for William Ruto. Again, he's not a small man. This government of William Ruto is run by Itumbi, and